I literally just seen that video of the lady talking about how men have more options than women nowadays, and I completely agree. The amount of fine women I see on the daily, it'll be like maybe one decent looking man, one sprinkled, average, best, sometimes never.
So I'm watching Farmer Wants a Wife, and I'm literally like, is this not what dating today feels like? There's one really smart, handsome, attractive guy, and then like 10 amazing women per man.
Finish. I practice hypergamy. I practice hypergamy.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, hope you subscribe. So, who has more options in the dating market? Is it men or women? Well, I think you have to look at this from a variety of perspectives, to say the least. From the women in the intro, I can completely understand where they're coming from because I've gone over this ad nauseum. But it seems to have sparked a bit of debate on YouTube because some women think they have more options and some women think that women have more options. And then you have some men who think that we have more options and some men think women have more options. So it's a very intriguing topic, man, because it seems like everybody got a different opinion and it's all over the place. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
So I'm watching Farmer Wants a Wife, and I'm literally like, is this not what dating today feels like? There's one really smart, handsome, attractive guy, and then like 10 amazing women per man. I'm not on dating apps anymore, but when I was, you just know like the women to male ratio of like amazing women is just always so outnumbered. And then also I'm a Christian, so it's like I just saw this video where she was like, why are women outnumbering men in the church? I'm just like, I don't know, like that is how like the dating market has felt to me. Just like the job market, there are not enough good jobs for the number of people that are educated and want to be employed. And I'm not saying like there's not enough good men. I just feel like I see more women that are ready to get married, that have their stuff together, than I come across men who aren't already married or already in relationships. And so I think reality TV, it feels more like reality, especially when it comes to these shows like The Bachelor, Farm Wants a Wife, Love is Blind. It feels so much more realistic than like just watching one couple one-on-one date. Like today, it just literally feels like, I know a lot of women talk about having rosters. I personally don't believe in that. It's just not my thing. But I personally feel like men have so much like advantage and leverage in this dating time, just because there's just so many great dateable women right now, just marrying women, like women that anyone would want to be with.
Well, if these are the kind of women that any man would want to be with, why come we don't hear about men coming in mass over to America to get these women? Why come these women are getting their passports and going to these other countries where the men are supposed to be more traditional? They so great, right? I'm being a smart ass, but reality is that this is a result of women just wanting the top 10, 20% of men. That's all it comes down to. That's exactly what she is describing. That's literally what she's describing. This isn't complicated. This isn't rocket science. But what I will say is this. This only applies to the top percent of men. And I think that's one of the things that women are very disingenuous about in this conversation, because they are so quick to sit over here and say that men have more options than women. Yeah. Y'all are talking about the top percenters. Those are the type of men that y'all are talking about. What y'all fail to realize is that a lot of y'all actually fall in line with the rest of the men. And I think that's another problem as well. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
Men absolutely have more options than women when it comes to dating. So I saw a TikTok on here from another creator talking about how there are plenty of beautiful women everywhere, but coming across a very handsome man is really rare. And I could not agree any more with that creator. I come across beautiful women every single day.
There's so many flaws in this video, but let's start off with number one. I made a video recently where I talk about how I think girls are a little bit more misogynistic than most men and they don't even realize it. And this was another good example. Because her whole basis for this video is that the reason why men have more options, even though I disagree with this point, let's just pretend that it's true, is that women are more attractive than men. You're basically implying the sole thing that makes the other side have more options is who's the more attractive one. Basically, putting the person's beauty at the forefront of what is most important in a relationship. Besides the fact where I've already made this video where a lot of women have made videos saying that they see so many more attractive women than they do men. The reality is it's not that you're seeing so many more attractive women than you are men. It's that you have a bias because number one, you're a woman. And most of the time you guys are not factoring in that a lot of the women that you think are so gorgeous compared to the average man are wearing a lot of things to enhance their appearance. The reality is, even if I gave her that point where more women are more attractive than most men, the truth is that there's a reason for that. My personal opinion, and I'm not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, a lot of women feel this sense that they have to work on their appearance because they know a lot of their value is deemed on how attractive that they are. Girls get treated a lot differently than men for being unattractive. An unattractive man can get away with doing a lot more things than a woman can. On the flip side of that, a lot more men seem to be insecure about their financial status, how much money they make, how successful they are in their career. So we can easily do the same thing back to them and say, hey, all these women have so many good options. A lot of the men that I meet, they're so successful, they make so much money. Why do I not meet so many women that are doing this? The reality is it's because a lot more men feel this sense of identity failure if they can't do that. I can't keep reiterating this point that I think a lot of women really truthfully forget what the average woman looks like if you took off all of those extra things that make her look so good. So what you're implying when you say men have more options than women, and then your whole basis for them having more options is that women are prettier than men, is the only thing that really makes somebody have a lot of options in dating is who's got the more attractive side. Because the reality is most men's issues with dating right now has never been that they couldn't find an attractive partner. It has just been that we feel like they're not getting anything in return. Most men, their complaints have never been like, oh my God, there's no attractive women out there. What their complaint is, oh my God, like I asked her to do this and she called me sassy. I always have to text her first to schedule plans. She wants me to work a job where I work 80 hours a week and she doesn't want to work at all. Like, I don't know what to do. That has been the majority of most men's complaints. None of them are complaining that they don't have any attractive options. Because as a guy who gets his eyebrows done, I'm wearing colored contacts, I get spray tans. There's really not that much that you can do as a guy to go and fix your appearance without girls somehow getting into the threshold of thinking that it's too feminine. Because most of the time, these average men look exactly the same as the average women. You're just a little biased, but that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
I agree with 100% everything that brother just said right there. And I didn't even mention the fact that, and I think this is another reason why women think like this, because he mentioned it as well. Ladies, y'all really got to stop judging women based off of what they look like after they put on a pound of makeup and the cumbrellas and the what I call them eyebrow, forehead eyelashes, them little baby hairs and shit. Y'all gotta chill with that shit. For one, I'm like, I don't really think that shit is cute, but y'all gotta stop doing that. Because in reality, as a matter of fact, I'll do you one better. Every woman that you've seen in this video so far that are saying this, they're all pretty average looking to me. I wouldn't rate any of them higher than a 5 or a 6. But notice, but they're talking like they're 9s and 10s. This is the problem. Women have overestimated their beauty solely based on makeup just being a lot better nowadays. Because if you've seen any of the transformations on social media of women that look like, they literally look like 3s without makeup, and then they put on a pound of makeup and all of a sudden they look decent looking. Yeah, so just imagine how much better an average chick looks like with makeup in comparison to without. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's where the overvaluing of how good they actually think they look are. And then not to mention them being able to have sexual access to higher caliber men and not getting the commitment, that plays a factor as well. Because when it comes to sex, men don't really have that same discrimination like women do. Like, you know, a top tier dude, a fucking average looking chick, you feel me, if it's on a slow Tuesday. Let's keep it moving.
These women, majority of women, think that all guys are players, which it's not.
Yeah, and the reason why they think that way is because they want the guy with the status, with the fame, six pack, 6 figures, what have you. Those guys typically have a lot of options, right? So if a man has a lot of options, he's considered a player. If a woman has a lot of options, she's considered liberated and free and independent.
Why are not average men good enough for average women? All these men out here that I know that's productive, assertive, confident, and they work, take care of themselves, self-sufficient, why are they not good enough for a bad? You think you're a bad because you purity? 99% of human beings are average. Women don't understand what percentage of men has this type of money. Then you got to take into consideration race. Then you got to take into consideration if they gay or not. There's so many factors they don't think about. They just say, this is what I want. It makes no sense. You're not finna go to no Fortune 500 company with no skills and say, oh, you don't get it just because you want it. The men that women say they want, does this man want you? Yeah, I want to make $1 million, but do I qualify for that type of job? Makes no sense to me. They are thinking that their looks are up here. Meanwhile, their actual skills are down here. You average. Now, if you was fine, a 10 and a wife, cool. You can ask for that rich man because you have the looks and the skills to do that. These women out here, you might be pretty, but you have no wife skills. You average out. So you telling me you think that you selling it as an average woman for an average man, but you don't think the man that you want is selling it for you?
And that is the crazy part about this whole conversation. Because when you have this conversation with women, that's one of the first things that come out of their mouths. I'm supposed to settle for an average man. Remember that one woman, she was kind of like chubby face and you could tell she was overweight, and she went on Kevin Samuel's show and she was like, I'm just supposed to settle for an average man? And this woman looked like she every bit of 50 something and overweight, and you want a man making 6 figures. Like, come on, man. And you think you settling if you get an average man. That's the wild part, bro. Women want men that are better than them, but then want to sit over here and say, "Oh, he's not settling if he gets me." Huh? I tell you, ladies, bro, if women use logic, if women use logic more outside of only when it benefits them, they would get so far much better in life, I tell you. Let's keep it moving.
60% of men from 18 to 29, it's not even like they want to date anymore. They're single and they're not looking. So we're dealing with a very small pool of men, which means we need to be wise. But I'm sorry, but I don't think any of y'all know how men work. Because the way that I'm hearing you guys talk, it's like 2 different worlds. From our perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But we have Brian here, we have the cameraman. Men operate on a completely different spectrum when it comes to relationships.
Ladies, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, but just because a man doesn't show interest in you does not mean that he's gay. It does not mean that he's gay. It does not always mean that he's cheap. It doesn't always mean that, like, for instance, if he's also a minority and you are, that like, oh, he's not into Black women, or he's Asian, he's not into Asian women. He's Hispanic, he's not into Hispanic women. That's not always the case. It totally could be the case, but I'm saying it's not always the case. Maybe for sure, like, you're just not his type, like he's just not attracted to you, and that's fine. I feel like a lot of us think that because we have access to something that we're entitled to it, but you have to remember everybody's like living their own individual lives, and people have their own preferences, people have their own standards of what they're looking for. And I feel like also a lot of us don't necessarily know where we're at. Like, we don't have like a personal gauge of like where we're at physically, where we're at monetarily, or personality wise. Like, I think some of us think we're a lot more attractive than we are. Some of us think that we're a lot funnier or a lot more exciting to be around than we are. Some of us are acting like we have a lot more money than we actually have. And other people are perceiving you entirely different than you may perceive yourself. So you do have to be cautious as to like how you're received when you're out in the wild, because you can feel whatever you want to feel about yourself, but as far as like the dating market, people have their own expectations. So remember when I was saying before how I felt like a rich person with status, it's very different from men and women. Like I think men and women are looking for different things. Like if two people are unconventionally attractive, one's a man, one's a woman, and they both have education, they both have status, they both have money, a man's going to be able to get a lot further with the status and money than a woman, because sometimes in this shallow world, a woman's currency is still in her appearance. So if you're not using your money to make yourself more competitive in the dating market, you're still going to have issues as a woman. Whereas like some men that may not be super attractive, if they have money and they're willing to spend it, a lot of women are still going to stick around. Even if he's a horrible person, even if he's not easy on the eyes, etc. I feel the same way about a pretty man versus a pretty woman. A pretty woman is going to be able to get a lot more with her looks than a man, because a lot of women, will we smash? Absolutely. Will we have sex with a very attractive man if he wants to have sex with us? Absolutely. But a lot of us might bow out when he starts asking us for money or needs a place to stay. A lot of us might bow out. Okay? So back to what I was saying, we just gotta be a little bit more realistic. You just may not be that person's type.
I tell you, bro, sometimes I love watching these videos because I love seeing women contradict themselves in the midst of thinking that they're really like spitting some truth. This woman literally said, in this shallow world where women are still solely judged based off of their beauty, but then proceeds seconds later to turn around and say, yeah, women will still sleep with a man even if he's treating them like trash because he's spending money. Okay then, so who's really the shallow one here? Huh? I would make the case women are far more shallow and materialistic than men. It's like, because really outside of looks, what else can y'all sit over here and try to make an argument about? And that's just men's nature. Just like it's in your nature to try to find a man that's going to spend some money because you don't want to spend yours. Kill me. I'm like, y'all be thinking y'all slick, bro. I ain't letting that shit slide, bro. Let's keep it moving.
Man, there's some new shit going on right now. Hoes showing their DMs, showing all that, like they scrolling through their DMs, showing all the hoes, showing all the niggas that's DMing them and shit. I'm like, bitch, 99% of niggas just trying to clap cheeks. Them ain't real options, food. 99% of niggas is just trying to sell you a dream to clap cheeks, bro. You don't have them actual options. Them ain't actual dating husband options, food. Them just niggas trying to bust you down. What are you talking about? You the goofiest bitch on planet Earth if you show a nigga your DMs and just all these niggas message you. You know what's the funniest part? 90% of them niggas in your DMs, you don't even want them for real. They're not even physically attractive. You wouldn't even give them the time of day. So you really just, that's just a lie. Most of them is a lie. And then even the niggas that you're not even physically attracted to, they only want you for sex. Nigga, I guarantee you, one out of them niggas in that DM is actually a dating candidate, and you better hope that nigga actually wants you after he meets you. You don't got as many options as you think, bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all bitches get on. That's what I'm saying. That's when the DMs be inflating hoes' egos and shit. Y'all don't really got it like that, bro. You don't got options like that, nigga. If you did, you wouldn't be a single ass bitch on the internet on TikTok posting that dumb ass shit. Fuck, and you niggas that fall for that shit. Y'all niggas, you niggas butt cheeks tighten up when a bitch show you her DMs. So look at all these men that want me, bitch. Alright, if a bitch ever showed me her, ain't no bitch ever been bold enough to show me no shit like that. But if she did, I'd be like, I would already message that nigga back. I bet you gonna try to take you out to clap cheeks. Exactly. So stop playing. I'll call him out. See, most of these niggas scared to call hoes out on their bullshit. Nigga, I'll call a bitch out. Go ahead, message that nigga back. I bet you just trying to fuck me. Go message that nigga back. I bet you don't even like that dude. Exactly my point, bro. Y'all gotta stop letting these hoes trick y'all into thinking they got options. They really don't. Most niggas and girls DMs is a bunch of 90% of them is weirdos. 10% of them may actually be viable options, but that don't even mean the dude actually want them for real. The dude just want to clap cheeks. So real talk, out of 10 niggas, she probably only got one that's a viable candidate, and she gotta hope that dude actually want her for real. That's the crazy part. They don't got options like that, bro. It's just an illusion. It's all an illusion of options, bro. It's not real. They just lying to make you the nigga they want act right. But you don't have to, because if they had other niggas like that, then you wouldn't even, they would just replace you so easily. But they can't. They really can't. You gotta stop letting these hoes trick you. They don't got it like how they say they do.
Bro, he is spitting 100% facts, and I agree with him 1000%. And I've actually witnessed this firsthand, man. And this funny thing, it actually happened to me out here. This woman wanted to show me all these men in her DM and men sending her dick pics and this, that, and so forth. But here I am, but here you are with me, and I didn't have to do any of that goofy shit. None whatsoever, man. Yeah, quit letting these women trick you into thinking they got options like that. Most of the time, it's just a bunch of dudes that's just trying to smash. We all know this. But in conclusion, I gotta say, man, I might be agreeing with the women on here. But like I said, you kind of got to look at it from a different perspective, because the true reason why it seems like men have more options than women is because men are willing to date down far more than women are. Even the men that are not top 10%, even the other 90% of men are willing to date down a little bit, as long as they're being treated right. Because as long as the woman is attractive enough, she doesn't have to be the most drop dead gorgeous one. So as much as men value beauty, yeah, that's what gets you in the door, but everything else is what men value more and what gets you kept. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of relationships fail, because women are working so hard on the physical aspect, is that when it comes to everything else, it's like all of a sudden they kind of start falling apart. That's why whenever you ask a woman, you know, what do you bring to the table or what do you bring to a relationship, they get so bothered by that kind of question, because deep down they truly feel like as long as they're just working on the outer shell, that should be enough, as well as giving you sex. So, and women will always have more options as far as sex. You know, women fuck who they want but marry who they can, and the opposite goes for men. So that's just the way of the world, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know what I'm uploading. Hit the like button, because that helps with the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.